Welcome back, everybody. Today I've got something kind of special to show off. Pretty recently, I uploaded a video where I did an unboxing of the Roar Battle for Cortaan collectible card game starter deck, where I showed off what you could expect to receive if you were to purchase one of them for yourself. Additionally, after that, I uploaded a gameplay video where myself and a buddy Bart played through a full match of the game using constructed decks built from 3 copies each of that same starter deck, to try to show off what the game has to offer when it's in a little bit more constructed setting and not just singleton starter decks. That video did relatively well, at least by my channel's standards, and the creator of the game saw it and was really thankful and enjoyed the video a lot. Since then, we've talked a bunch about the game, what I'm more excited to see released, what I'm hopeful for, little things that I think could improve for clarity, whatever. Just a great conversation. We've kind of talked about some upcoming cards and what we can expect to see, and he's also showed off some like sort of zoomed out full page, like 8 copies or 9, 12, whatever cards on a print sheet of upcoming cards that I've kind of tried to peer into the depths and figure out what they say. So we've had some fun back and forth with that. And we decided it might be kind of fun if I showed off here a couple of brand new spoilers that haven't been posted anywhere else. I personally, of course, was really excited about the prospect of that, and I'm excited to show them off to you. There are 6 cards here today, so hopefully this won't be a super long video. The first 3 of them have already been spoiled on his Facebook page, and so they won't be necessarily new per se, but they were spoiled kind of the same time we decided to do the 3 that I'm doing, so I just want to go over them real quick as well. I'll take a little more time with the ones that haven't been seen at all, but for a lot of you, I imagine these will all be new, so I'll still kind of go into what to expect from each of these cards and what I think they'll mean for the game. So getting right into it, the first card, one of the ones spoiled on the Facebook page, is the Elven Assassin. Now, this red banner in the top right of the card here means that it's a rare. It's a 9-cost unit. When Elven Assassin is deployed, deal 3 damage to target unit or site. This is awesome. 3 free damage is good. Anyone that's played like Magic or whatever knows Lightning Bolt's a cool card. And this is kind of that, but also attached to a character. So, another unique thing, or fun thing about this, is it does 3 damage to a unit. Now in this game, you play as a god with a shrine that's devoted to you or whatever, and your deck is basically your constituents. And gods are units in this game. So you can choose to play this and just deal 3 damage to your opponent's god, basically 3 direct damage to their life, which is awesome. It also doesn't specify that it's spell damage, which means the god's spell resistance doesn't trigger, and you can just put 3 damage on them. This is awesome. If you were to play multiple copies of this, that's multiple free chances for damage or whatever, so that's cool. Otherwise, you can just use it to clear a annoying body off the board, or to weaken a card enough to die in combat with you that turn. Whatever you want to do. 3 free damage is only 3 free damage. As far as its stats go, it has 3 damage when it attacks. It has an accuracy of 5, that's the white dice in the middle. It means when it attacks, it has to roll a 5 or lower to hit. So 5/6 of a chance to, of a 5 and 6 chance to hit. It's pretty great accuracy, which you'd expect an assassin to have. And 2 life. 2 life sounds a little low in most games, especially for something that costs 9, which sounds a little high in most games. However, in this game, a lot of units do tend to have like 2, 3, maybe 4 life if they're real big. And 9 cost is not as high as it might be in a lot of other games. In this game, each turn you roll a d6 to determine how many points you have to spend that turn. If you spend 6 of those points, you can purchase a second dice for each of your turns. And if you spend 12 total, you can purchase a third dice. So, in theory, I guess it'd be by turn 3, you could potentially be rolling a maximum of 18 as your total points for the turn. Turn 1, you roll a 6, you buy a second dice. Turn 2, you roll a 6. or you roll a 12 and then buy a third dice, and then start your, full 18 points potential on turn 3. That's like perfect situation. Rolling a 6 and then a 12 would be crazy, but it's happened. So 9 is not all that much. You could very realistically hit 9 on turn 2 and have this right out on the table. I think this is a cool card. I think it's deserving of a rare slot. And another Anarchy unit is awesome too. There's already one of the gods that we have that works with Anarchy units, so that's exciting. Even one that comes in the starter deck, Alu, which is great. I think this is awesome. More support for things in the starter decks is always fun. Second card we have is the Deep Crawler. And this one's a 4-cost unit. It's a common, which is signified by that white banner there. It deals 2 damage when it attacks, has an accuracy of 4, so 4 and 6 chance of hitting, and a life of 2, just like the last unit. Now its effect is the Deep Crawler may only intercept. If their controller pays 1 power that combat, they may assault. And then it has stealth. So that whole block of text there is actually just the definition for that keyword aquatic, which you see in the bottom left there. Basically, aquatic units just have to pay 1 to attack, otherwise they can't. The thematic sense of that is that it's harder for them to come up on land and attack you or whatever. There are some aquatic battlegrounds that will let them forgo that opportunity, and since they're in water, they don't have to pay the extra to attack. And I imagine, fingers crossed, that there will probably be a god that helps you forgo that cost too. But for now, the trade-off is that aquatic units, while they cost 1 extra to attack with, they are typically a little bit overstated for their cost. A 4-cost unit with 2/4/2 is pretty good stat-wise in this game. It's also a beast, which is really just a negative keyword in most cases. It means that it can't be equipped with upgrades. Sort of makes sense, right? You can't give a beast you can't give it a sword. You can't give it armor. So it makes sense you can't really upgrade this. However, it does have stealth, which is an exciting keyword. So stealth gives it 2 things. 1, if it's attacked, your opponent has 1 less accuracy while attacking it, which makes it harder to hit, naturally as you'd imagine stealth would. And then stealth also gives it preemptive strike when attacking. Now, preemptive strike works exactly like first strike does if you've played Magic the Gathering. When it attacks, it deals its damage first. Normally, damage is dealt simultaneously in this game, but this card gets to go first when it's attacking. Stealth makes sense, right? It's like a ninja kind of thing. In this case, I imagine it coming out of the dark of the water and getting you before you see it. But stealth is an awesome keyword. So a unit that basically has preemptive strike when attacking, 1 extra, decreases your opponent's accuracy by 1 when defending, and is a 2/4/2 that costs 1 to attack. I think that's a great card for 4. I'm really excited to see the prospect of an aquatic deck. I'm very hopeful for what the future holds for aquatic cards. Card 3, the last of the cards already spoiled, is the Baron Raider, War Caller. 7-cost unit, also a common. War Callers have the leader trait and the inspiring trait. It has Accord. It's an Accord type unit. It's just like a faction within the series, kind of like Anarchy was on the first Elf there. Excitingly enough, there is one of the leaders as well, Alu, who works with Accord units. So I was really excited to see more Accord units. I want to build a full Accord deck so that his effect is always active, and this is another unit I can add to that, so very excited there. 1 damage, 5 accuracy is great. 2 life is also pretty good, is pretty standard, as you've seen from these other cards. Inspiring now is a keyword, which means when a unit with this trait assaults or intercepts, other units you control gain +1 to their attack characteristic when also assaulting or intercepting. So basically, you turn this guy sideways to attack or block. Everything else you're attacking or blocking with gets +1 accuracy, making it easier for them to hit their target, to either hit your opponent's god or to hit the units they're defending against. Great trait. I love inspiring. Awesome. Now, Leader increases friendly units assaulting or intercepting accuracy by 1 when they assault or intercept. Oh, I apologize. Their attack characteristics. So Inspiring gives them +1 damage. So the red dice goes up by 1. Leader makes the white dice go up by 1. So this guy, for example, when he swings, he hits for 2 damage on a 6 or better. So he is guaranteed to hit unless they have some special effect or something that prevents that. That's awesome. This guy's cool and is a great leader concept card. The Accord things work well with Alu, who also modifies their stats. This is a cool card and is a good sort of lord within the Accord deck that I'm very hopeful to see blossom as more cards come out. Well, that's it for the cards that we have already seen before. So getting into the new ones that are exclusive to this video, we've got Disjunction, a 1-cost spell. Now this one has a blue flag. Blue flags are, I think they are legendaries. Give me 1 second, let me confirm. Still a little new on the rarities there. Blue flags are epic. Basically, if you were to kind of break down like magic rarities, white would be common, red would be like uncommons, blues would be rares, and purples would be mythics. In this game, it's common, rare, epic, legendary. So it's the second to highest rarity. I imagine if you were to do like booster packs or whatever, these would probably be like 1 in a pack, I would guess. Who knows? But for now, it's a 1-cost spell. Any spells that cost 1, that's awesome. Starved of Power, spells fizzle and rituals falter. Fun flavor text on this card. Target ritual is destroyed. So we don't have much as far as rituals are concerned right now that we've seen within the starter decks. However, they are great, and I imagine I'm very prepared for them to be very scary when they are around. Rituals will work like enchantments in Magic, where they'll be on the table and stick around doing something. So this will be a removal spell for 1 that will handle that. I imagine this will probably be a 2 of, maybe, in a lot of decks, assuming rituals end up as good as I expect them to be. Time will tell how good this card will be. Being a epic rarity, I think it's kind of painted on the wall already that that's going to be a good card to have a hold of. I imagine you'll want to get your hands on these as soon as you can once we get access to the full set. I really am excited to see what rituals bring to the game. They do a lot, and they have a lot of potential to, especially in a game where like you're rolling different mana each turn. You don't have like set numbers for stuff. Unlike Magic, where you get 1 land 1 turn, you get another the next turn, you get another the next turn. You like know how many lands you're going to have, unless of course you get starved or flooded, whatever. You know how many you're going to have each turn. You can see it. In this game, it's kind of random. You're going to roll your dice and see what you actually get to spend. So if there are rituals that affect your dice rolls, that's going to be hugely problematic. If there are rituals that affect your accuracy rolls, your damage output, there's a lot of things like that that will be really aggravating to play against. This will be a nice answer to that. So I'm excited to see where this ends up, how good this ends up being. Next, we have the Cataclysmic Strike, a 6-cost spell. It's a manifestation of corruption. It deals 3 magma damage to all units and sites. It's an incantation, a manifestation of corruption, as it says. Now, manifestations are something that is kind of new. We don't really have that yet either. Let me see where exactly the definition of manifestations was. I don't know if that one is particularly a loaded keyword that means anything. I think it might just be a type of thing. As for spells, there are Rituals, like I said, remain in effect until disrupted or their card says otherwise. Incantations are like sorceries in Magic. They are one-time use. They're played on your turn, and they do the thing they say they do. Then there are retorts, which are spells that work like instants. You use them to retort, to respond to something your opponent has done. So this is a sorcery speed, 6 cost, deal 3 damage to everything. That's pretty good. Now, fun stuff to remember with this, like we kind of mentioned with the Elvish Assassin. This does 3 magma damage, which means it will be... the magma damage itself doesn't mean anything, but it is coming from a spell, so the gods will have to roll spell resistance against it, so they might not be hit by it. But it does say all units, so both your god and your opponent's god are at risk of getting hit by this, as well as all units means both yours and your opponent's. So there are some times where this will be really dangerous, of course, and there are other times where you can set this up early. You've gotten recently kind of wiped on your board. You use this to reset their side of the table, then play your cards out. I'm excited to see the versatility of this card. I'm hoping to see a god who is more magic focused. Right now we don't really have one that's like that. Lore just gives you an extra resource every turn basically, and then can discard your hand to draw that many cards once per game. Cool. Alu gives your Accord and Anarchy units additional stats. That's cool too. It's basically an attacking unit deck. He's like a warrior leader, like a general. So it makes sense that he's leading an army. And then we have Hoarfrost, the dragon. He deals ice damage to things that attack him. So that deck, there's like a part of me that wants to like force that into being the kind of defensive control spell deck. I want to sling spells with that deck while I sit back and deal damage to you for attacking me. I think that's a cool concept, and spells like this are neat. He's got a pretty good spell resistance too, so this might actually work well in his deck. But I'm hopeful that there is a god who is specifically built around like kind of making spells do more, making them cheaper, getting them back, something like that doesn't want to be as creature focused. I know that's kind of the point of like a game like this where you have warriors on a battle line attacking and whatever, but it's always fun to see a deck that doesn't play by the same standards. So we'll see what comes with that. For now, I still think this is a cool card. The blue flag on it being an epic card, I don't know if it's quite as obviously good as the last one. Getting, ritual removal is probably great, so I'm sure that card's going to be awesome. This one, there's a lot of opportunities where you can just clear your entire board out with this card, and that's probably not as good. However, I can definitely see decks that will want this, and if a world exists too, where some of the cards that come out give us self-destruction effects, like when this card is destroyed, do something, this could be really fun with that, so you can trigger a bunch of your own effects. Sir, if you're watching this video about your own cards, perhaps I can sow a little bit of idea in your head there to give us some destruction effects, so we can trigger some fun combos on our own accord here. Final card today, the Veterans of the 100-Year War. This card I am so excited about. Right now we have one quest. It comes in the starter deck, and it gives one of your characters some additional stats if you have killed 3 beasts in the game. It's like a beast hunter quest. That's cool. There are some beasts, as you've seen. There's not a ton of them yet. I imagine there will probably be like a beast deck eventually, but right now there's not a lot of them, so that quest doesn't make its way into like constructed decks all that often. I can't really see a reason yet to use that as deck space. However, this one is awesome. It's a common too, which I think is crazy. It costs 2, so it's just going to come out, stay on the table, and it's your quest. So you're always doing the thing it wants you to do. After each combat, friendly units that participated and survived the battle can have one of their stats increased by 1 point to a maximum of 6. That's awesome. Anything that you attack or block with that doesn't die just gets one of their stats increased by 1. This is huge. Right now there is one of the battlegrounds, the Gates of Bastion, I think it's called. I apologize if I missed the name of that one, but it's definitely the Gates of something, and I think it's Bastion. But that card has a victory condition if you win the battle there. One of the things that you get, the Spoils of War, is you get a experience point to give to one of your units. An experience point just increases one of their stats by 1. Right now, that is the best battleground in the game that we have seen within the starter decks, because every time you attack or defend at it and you don't lose, your guys get better. That's awesome, or at least one of your guys gets better. This card makes every one of your guys get better. This card seems crazy, and I am so excited to run this one. I think the art is awesome on this card too. I'm shocked this is a common. I wonder if there will be things too that remove quests. Who knows? Right now, quests are just played for their cost and remain in play until destroyed or until the card itself says otherwise. So really, this will just stay out and keep making your guys better. This card is nuts. Exciting finale to these spoilers here. That's it. That's all I've got for today. 6 new cards for the Roar Battle for Cortaan collectible card game. I'm very, very excited for this game to see its full set release. Even with just the starter decks, it's been a blast. I will put a link in the description of the video where you can go purchase starter decks for yourself. Again, none of this is like sponsored or anything. It's just a game I like. It's a creator I have had good conversation with. He's a good dude, and I'm happy to help see the game grow. For now, have a great rest of your day. Thanks for hanging out, and stay tuned for more.